Good afternoon, students. I'm going to explain here 5th unit important question, client and server architecture. So let me show the diagram better to understand the concept. So here on a screen it's appeared the client and server architecture image. So a client is a person, he or she can send a message or request into server. Server identify the user request and process the user request, find a exact answer and respond to client. This explanation is called client and server architecture. See, observe the diagram. In this diagram, a client is sending a request to server. Server respond data to client. So go to the explanation. If you understand the concept of client and server architecture, see, client and server model is a distributed application structure. It means client and server always transfer the data from source to destination and destination to source. That means it giving the response based on the user request. See the definition. In a client and server architecture, so this is the definition. In a client and server architecture, client computer send a request for the data to server. So here it need always internet facilities to communicate with each other from the client and server. Server accept the user request, process and deliver the data packets into client. So according to this explanation, who is a client? A client I am talking to as a person or an organization. Server is also a person or medium. For example, in a student and a teacher relation, student is called as a client, teacher is called as a server, because as a client of student should have to ask the questions and the server, nothing but a teacher, has to respond the answers. So how it works? We already discussed about client and server architecture process. Client and server architecture process should have to be communicate with the internet. Internet is a main required component to share the resources from one device to another device. So in this process, we need URL, domain name system, protocols, document object model, CSS, and JIT compiler. So here URL is the main component to access the data and forward the data to server. What is URL? URL is a uniform resource locator, which it contains 7 parts. Every URL starts with a protocol. So protocol is called as a HTTPS or HTTP. Suppose, for example, sometimes we are receiving messages from unknown or third parties. How it looks? It looks like a HTTP or HTTPS colon slash slash www.domainname.com. Nothing but I'm giving here google.com. That means this is called URL. Every URL starts with a protocol. So there are two protocols according to the web communication. First one is HTTP, second one is HTTPS. So what is a domain? Domain is a 4 digits of decimal number separate with the dots called as a IP address. So domain name is